Good morning, and it is time for another set of notes. Today's notes look like this. Dun, dun, dun. The business of film acting. And so what we're going to talk about is just basically how to get started as a film actor. Because by the time we are through, you should be able to, if you want, go out and get an agent and kind of start being a film actor. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? Just remember who taught you everything you know, so that when you're getting those awards, you can thank us generously. Okay, so the first two things you need to do. Number one, you need to get an agent. And number two, you need to get a manager. So agent and manager are the two blanks that you have. Okay, the difference between an agent and a manager is the agent usually has a ton of clients. They might have hundreds of people that they represent. So when someone calls for let's say a teenager, they will send them 75 videos to look at and 75 clients to look at. Whereas a manager is usually smaller, about 30. They have about 30 people and they have a better relationship with the casting agents. So when they tell them they need a teenager, they say, what kind do you need? And then they narrow it down, and they might only send one or two films. So you want to make sure that not only do you get an agent for those opportunities when they just are calling for a lot of people, but you want a manager who can really take care of you, who can really manage you well and make sure that you are pushed towards the jobs that are best for you. Okay, so what they send is a reel. Okay, a reel is a video. So in that blank, put video. A reel is a video of you performing. It shows your type and your brand. So usually it's 3 to 4 clips that are about 30 seconds long. So you're looking at totally about 1.5 to 2 minutes long. So you pick your 3 or 4 really good clips of experienced performances, of things where either you create them yourselves or times when you've been in commercials or you've been in films already, and you go ahead and you put that in there so that they can see what you look like in an edited form. The two things they're looking for is type and brand. Type are the characters that you play physically. Mostly physically is your type. So for example, my type would be a middle-aged woman. I know I look younger than that, but I would be cast as a middle-aged woman. That is my type. My brand might be mother or teacher, or not cougar, but something along those lines that really fits. Now, I would not be cast as a middle-aged supermodel because I unfortunately do not look that way. So you have to be honest with yourself when you're trying to figure out your type and your brand, and you have to think, what do I really look like to people who don't know me? That is not your personality, because your personality might be totally different than how you look. So you really have to think about what you look like and how you present yourself to people who don't know you. You want to be honest as possible. The next thing you need is a headshot. Okay, a headshot is a photo and a resume is a paper. Now, you know what resumes are because you use them for jobs. So let's talk about the headshot. The headshot is a photo of you. Number one, it should look like you. So put you in that blank because it should look like you. That's the number one thing for your headshot. I need to hold this up higher so I can see it. Okay, number two, you want to stand out. So you want to make sure it's the best headshot that you can possibly get of you and the best vision of you. You want to show the light in your eyes. See eyes? Because film is all about eyes. You want to make sure it's in color and not black and white, because the majority of your film work will be in color, not in black and white. So they need to know how you look. You need to have expressions that show your personality. So put personality in that blank. You want them to see that you're energetic. You want them to see that you're exciting. You want them to see that you're happy, or that you're moody and that you're cranky and that you can play evil. So whatever personality you are trying to portray and is your type or your brand, make sure you show that personality in your headshots. Number 6, have a simple background. All this nonsense back here would not work for a headshot. You want to have a simple background. You want it to be just a wall. You want it to be blank. If you do end up with all this, or you take it outside because you like the lighting, make sure you blur the background, because the focus is on you, not on all the nonsense around you. Photos need to be close up. Okay, close up like this. Well, not like this, but close up, because you need to be seen just close up. They need the details of your face. They need to see where your wrinkles are, or if you have wrinkles, they need to see the contours of your chin or chins, whatever you have. So you need to make sure that it's close up. And finally, the spacing. Your head should be near the top. See, my head is near the top. My eyes are right about center. That's what you want to do, because they really need to see your face, because that's what they're looking for. They're not casting your leg. They're not casting your hair, unless it's that specific job. They are looking for your face. They want to see what you look like. Okay, so then you can read about good resumes. I'm not going to read it to you because you're kind of smart and can read. But make sure if you ever do a resume that you have all this information on there. And you can use the Google, because the Google is my special friend. And you can use the Google to find examples of film resumes so that you really know exactly what it looks like, and you can kind of copy one should you decide to go out on your own. It says on there that you only list your date of birth if you're under 18. And the reason you do that is because there are certain rules and certain guidelines that they have to follow for people who are under 18. So if you are under 18, you need to let them know that. That doesn't mean you won't get cast. It just means that they have to be prepared for your work hours or things like that. Take a breath because I go a little fast. Meeting an agent. Okay, when you go to meet an agent, you are trying to get them to hire you. Okay, so you want them to see you at your best. So you probably want to do a mock interview. You want to do a practice interview before you actually go up in front of them. The agent is looking for your type and your brand, and they want to see that when they meet you. So they're going to ask you to tell them a story. And you need to have a really good story that relates to your type and brand. Does it have to be true? Not necessarily. It can be an exaggeration. But if your type and brand is 17-year-old thug, then you might want to talk about a time that somebody thought you were a thug and they followed you all over Walmart because they thought you were going to thug somebody, whatever thugs do. So whatever type you think you fit, you come up with a story so that they can see you selling that type, okay? Because when you tell the story, you are selling your type and you're selling your brand. Your agent needs to know you and trust you. So show them your true self, okay? They need to know who they're working with and what kind of personality you are. So don't go in there fake. Don't go in there, super bubbly if you're not super bubbly. Don't go in there super moody if you're not super moody. Be the best version of you so that they see exactly what they're going to get. Unfortunately, theater and film has you dealing with a lot of rejection, okay? If you are selected for 1 out of 15 roles, that's a pretty good deal, okay? That means that you are actually very successful. So you've been rejected 14 times, but 1 out of 15 you get the job. That's a good deal. That's a good sign. It's a huge part of the business. You cannot take it personally. If they are looking for somebody, they know exactly what they're looking for. And so very often they want a very, very specific look. So there might be 5 people who are good for the role, but one person just has the exact right texture of hair or is the right height. You might be a ½ inch too short or a ½ inch too tall. It just really, it's very, very, very objective. So you can't get too offended if you don't get cast all the time, because you're not going to. It's kind of, not everybody bats 1,000. There are some things that are beyond your control. However, the more relationships you establish, the more people you get to know in the business, the easier it is to get roles and the easier it is to pick. Also remember that when you go into an interview, you might not necessarily win that particular interview, but you want to win the room. You want the people interviewing you to remember you. So you might come in and not be a fit for the commercial they're filming this week. However, 2 weeks from now, they might be filming something that you're perfect for, and they will call you because they already know. So you want to do your best, even if you get there and you realize, oh my gosh, everybody else here is 2 feet shorter than me and blonde, and I'm, 6'2" with brown hair. Okay, that's some kind of random mistake. Do you miss the bell? That's some kind of random mistake in you getting there, but you still need to show them who you are and what you are, because next week they might be looking for someone you fit. Your assignment is on the assignment list, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. You are going to create 4 headshots. 2 of them are going to be fabulous, and 2 of them are going to be terrible. Okay, and you can just do this like a selfie. You can hold your camera up in front of you. Just make sure that for the good ones, you follow all the guidelines that I gave you earlier. Take your 4 and you're going to upload them to Google Slides. So you need 1 slide that has your 2 good ones and another slide that has your 2 bad ones, and put your name on each slide. So it's just your name and 2 pictures, then another slide with your name and 2 pictures. Then you upload that into the assignment for Google Classroom. And that, my darlings, is all you have to do today. So have a great Thursday. See you later. Bye.